All right. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. It's Ona and Dr. Vicky, and it's time for Mystic Sisters. Today is Saturday, June 28th, 2025. How was your week in the hot sun? That was one of my questions for tonight was like, what the rah? It just had that really super Jupiter impact going on after that new moon. If you watch Moon Shadows, it was supposed to have an impact, and it sure felt like it here.
Yeah, that moon Jupiter, no, Jupiter,
Yeah.
Sun Jupiter, that happened on the day that let me say it right. Um, Mandani won the
The
um,
the pri his
primary, yeah, the Democratic primary for the mayor of New York City. Yeah.
that was the same day.
Yes. Yes, and his it's funny because I did a video on him. It's in my membership right now, and he's a really interesting guy. We have an accurate birth time. He's his mother is I think an artist, and his father is like a professor. He was born in Africa, in Uganda. He's from Indian heritage, but his religion is Muslim.
Yeah.
And everybody's losing their shit about, like, after
I
9/11, people forgot. Like, what does he have anything to do with
Oh
9/11?
no, yeah, that's
It's like
everybody has to throw some culture under the bus for
it's
what they
just so
produce.
crazy.
It's
And
a fair response because
if
we're
you
going to
look,
actually tax rich people even more, like they're supposed to pay their fair share, right? Housing might have, oh my gosh, a cap on the rent. God forbid. Like he's really trying to get people in on, look, we got to like start at the basics here.
yeah, yeah,
And they're scared.
he has
They
a
don't
Venus,
want to. Yeah,
he
they're
has a
scared.
he has a Venus Jupiter conjunction in Virgo in his
Okay.
chart. He really just wants to be helpful. And let me tell you, we need a lot of help. So if people are willing to be helpful, I think we should take them up on it.
Yeah. Let me see what I have where I have this thing here because I have more stuff for Jim, but says he's starting to, be himself right now. He should be better this week. I apologize for last week. It was a little chaotic there. He should be better. It is like the first day we've been able to take a decent walk because it cooled down enough to turn the air conditioners off.
Yeah.
They've been on for a long time. I don't like that.
I actually called her up and I was like, was it cold enough to take Gibbles for a walk? Because I know you were all going stir crazy, like
Yeah.
cooped up. I mean, it's nice that you were cooped up in air conditioning, but it's still cooped up. It's still not, you feel like you're in a bubble. It's
Oh
really,
my gosh, yeah. And we had to go for like extra long walks. They take all the garbage cans away for the Pride parade. So I'm walking all over the neighborhood with the hot bag of steam and poop. I'm like, where are the garbage cans?
you're the
So we
shit.
got like an extra
You're the shit.
long walk to just dispose of it properly. I got somebody who composts it, so I found a good spot. But it's been so crazy. He's done well. He did great today, and I expect him to be very, very tired at 7:23. Right, like right, he'll be out all night. I could vacuum all over. He wouldn't even know. You can't hear it anymore. I want to say hi to everybody that showed up. Hi, Campbell. Hi, Alexandra, Paula, Sandra, Lady Heather McKay. That one's new. Hello, welcome. Strawberry Rhubarb Taro, Zendal, Mary, Sleuth Jill. Thank you, you guys. Thank you for showing up. I hope you're getting some relief from this wacky weather pattern. I can't even. Hi, Mary. Um, I can't even explain. I had a kind of a WTF question going on in terms of this because it's like one chaotic blast after another. And it's really hard to thermoregulate. It's hard to regulate your body. You might be fine. You don't even know you're dehydrated,
Than the other stuff that's
right?
going on. It's like it's all working in just different ways, like super, super hot, super, then it's cold, then it's like
It's yeah. And we got,
everything,
you know what? I know it
well,
was
I
like
mean, we're waking up, right? I mean, when you think about it, we're waking up to a new consciousness. So
yeah,
it's going to feel like that. It's going to feel like we're getting like bombarded. And we
yeah,
kind of are. And I think part of maybe the way to handle that is just to really like be aware of what you're taking in,
yeah.
right? What are you focusing on?
Yeah,
Like,
you guys. Yeah, Uranus is moving into Gemini, and poof.
but it will only be there for a couple months, and then it'll go back
Right.
into Taurus to finish us up in Taurus. And God only knows what that's going to be, considering Taurus rules money.
I know. I know. And Gemini would be crypto money. So I wouldn't I don't know how to give financial advice, but I wouldn't be making any major investments between the time Uranus leaves Taurus and goes back into Taurus. You said a couple months, it goes back, right? Because it seems like that's such a weird space for it to be in.
I think you just need to kind of stand still with it and see where it's going to lead you. If you want to ride this roller coaster, good luck.
Yeah.
Right? Good luck with that. I did pick a Mystic Sister card before we get
Oh,
too
thank
much
you.
into the WTF questions. And we got Bee Goddess.
Interesting.
Bee Goddess. And I'll read it to you. And because I got Bee Goddess, I decided that I'm going to use my Bee Tarot.
You were just talking about these on the morning show.
Well, they were all over the garden today.
Today they were.
Yeah.
Remember you were saying, "Hey, I don't see a lot of bees," and
Right.
then boom, you're like,
Then
"Okay,
they came. Yeah.
okay." What was I saying about abundance? And then all of a sudden they're all there, right? And you're like, "Yeah, they really don't bother you."
I love it.
Even when you can.
I love all the pollinators. I don't
Yeah.
I don't bother anybody. They don't bother me. Um, so Bee Goddess is now. So this is our advice, ladies and gentlemen, for the week ahead from the Mystic Sisters Oracle. Oh, by the way, this is from an oracle deck by Emily Balavet. She also does all the art. You can get it through US Games or you can get it on Amazon or whatever. I just want to give her a shout out because we always use this. And I think, people might want to know if they can get it themselves. Let me see. I was going to see if I have the box. Oh, yeah, here it is to show you what the box looks like. So that's the box. That way, if you want to get your own, you can. Okay, Bee Goddess. Interconnection and community. So maybe we're going to have another Mystic Sister emergency session this week.
We're coming up on the 4th of July.
Oh, yes, the
And
4th of
like you said, the
July.
Tower month, so
The Tower, yeah, and I'm going to be on live tomorrow
Oh,
with Susan Lynn. I have never done a live like psychic. It's like a psychic thing, or well, whatever comes up, I'll answer a question. But yeah, so things are gonna get quick, I think.
I
So
like it, Vicky, because the moon is going to be in Virgo and Mercury's in a good place for that.
yeah, Mars is in Virgo too. I like Mars in Virgo, and you have Mars in Virgo, and I
You
have
know
Mars
it,
in
girl.
Virgo, and Michael, my husband, has Mars in Virgo. And it's we're getting juiced up with Mars and Virgo right now. I
We are.
think.
And you're welcome. You're welcome, the next generation, how we accelerated the gut brain health paradigm. because of all our problems in our guts. They're trying to find a way to fix it. We know.
We're all about absorption. All about absorption. Okay, so it says the bee goddess reminds you of the miraculous interconnectedness of all life. Just like I said, I haven't seen the bees, and then they all came because they knew I missed them, I guess. You may feel that the path to reach your goals has been a solo endeavor, but this is an illusion. You have certainly been busy, buzzing from task to task, and like a bee, your focus is only on the present mission. You may not be conscious of all the other busy hands at work to reach the higher goal. You are all called to trust a mysterious force that guides all in a harmonious pattern in order to accomplish something that is impossible to take on alone. Beautiful. Going on the altar.
There you go.
Do you see my pride tree of life?
Yes. Yes. I should probably throw it out there. I'm going to show up at the Pride Parade, and I will be dressed as a fairy. I have fairy wings. They're purple. They're right there. And do street Reiki for this healing arts, for this art community that I'm working with.
Let's do I'm going to do a little.
It's been one of those things. It'd be one of those things, and I'll probably mention it in the morning. And if you want to go with me, I could do what I did for the Women's March. If you want to go to the Pride Parade in Chicago, I'll write your name on me, because I'm going to take a shower when I get home anyway. I'm gonna. So if you want to do that, and I'll be doing Reiki as long as people can stand it, and as long as I can stand it. And there's a little hawk that's flying right by. So
Spirit's giving you the thumbs up.
Yeah, I got a great response at No Kings. Great response. So I want to definitely do that again. And I have somebody helping me too, one of the other practitioners there. So
awesome.
I've never dressed up to go to this parade. I've only picked up the swag and wore it.
So do we have, let's see, what a WTF? Or do we want to just do that general question I spoke of before?
Let me see if anybody's writing with any WTF questions. If we don't get a couple, I am going to just do the one that your deferral, your default question.
Okay.
And you know what? I will go through these comments later. I honestly don't have time, but I am already writing people's names down, and that's not fair. So I will scrub through them. I got Sharpie markers all over the place. I'll get pictures.
I was doing a thing before we got on. I was doing a little thing. This thing.
I love it. How did you feel? Did it calm your brain? Did it feel like?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Just, and I used a big fat black Sharpie, which I like doing with the Sharpie.
Yeah.
Instead of a pen.
Yeah. Sharpie's recommended.
Oh, is it? Oh, see, I don't know. Cool.
This Neurographica, the Neurographica is with algorithms and using specific tools, no metallics. It is a therapeutic model for dissolving old habits, finding another way to do something. It is something they use in art therapy.
Oh, okay.
And neuro art like this, so they use Sharpies is what they use. And like this, you can use it, but I've always kind of used Sharpies.
Yeah.
Because the line, it's not a mess. They're really clean. They write on everything.
Right. Yeah. And you can do like little fancy things with Sharpies that you can't do with a pen. You can do a little flourish depending on how, wide the tip is.
I've been working on and I want to do this on a bigger scale, but not too big. It seems like I go through this every year when I want to represent the elements in some way, or at least honor them. This elements, like dancing elements.
Oh, I like that.
They look like, so I started it on a bigger piece to see kind of what model I want. And I realized that
That would be a cool mobile. You could make it out of different materials.
would be cool in stained glass.
Yeah, that too. Oh, I can do that.
I know, exactly. So yeah, I think I want to put that in the bank of projects while, my sewing machine room was occupied for a few days. I had somebody who didn't have air conditioning, so I didn't sew for a while. I just kind of drew, and these little characters keep coming up, and it just kind of evolves that way. So we'll see what comes out of it, but it should be interesting.
I'll be right back. I want to grab something.
Okay. Teresa's asking me if I tried chalk markers. I've tried a bunch of different markers. I typically like when I use watercolor, just let the watercolor do whatever it wants. And that actually is one of the pieces back there. And then I tangle around it. But this neurographica thing is therapy, like literally therapy. It's my therapy.
I want to show you what Michael is working on right now. He's doing this art installation with a giant foot.
Okay.
And some other, well, it's not, it's a clay foot, but anyway. And then he made this little guy.
Wow.
Cool.
Oh my God. Is that out of a malachite?
No, it's the clay that I think
like powder.
I don't know if it's air dry or if it's you have to put it, I think it's air dry clay.
Yeah.
So he made the face, and then he painted it, and then he painted it. But yeah, he likes to do. He gets. It's like if he gets stressed out, art is a way for him to work out his angst. And you guys have the same chart, so
I'll tell you,
I think it happens to you too.
It actually happens to me, and it's a way to interpret and sort of drown out some of the signals, because I do it right away in the morning. So it's like everything. It's overload sometimes. So that's like what I practice in the morning. Like, in my 20s, like cigarette and nicotine and caffeine. It becomes a ritual that you need to do to move forward for me, because everything looks different every day. Even though you think I look out the same window, it does not look the same every day. It is different every day.
It is different. It's so, one of the things I love to do is just and that's why like the pictures that I share on my channel are usually just like close-ups of like a flower. It's because you just like look all around you and you'll see something beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy here because it's a garden, but even if don't have a garden, or you're not in what might be a traditionally beautiful place, you can still find beauty in things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
I think it's a good thing to do, because we're seeing so much ugliness that we have to balance it with beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to let that get in your eyes. You have to get that into your eyes, and it doesn't matter what kind of art it is, but you have to expose yourself to that every day to keep on an even, because right now the days are all kind of crazy bumpy.
Yeah.
And that's why I have to expose myself to that. I knew that since way back when, I have to do the creative part of my art where it is natural sunlight. And the construction I could do in a basement, but the part where I have to pour through everything, I have to be in the sun. It has to be like a natural light. What was your WTF default question?
Well, it was just going to be about July for the United States, just to get a.
Because it's the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah. And the 4th of July, we have a Venus-Uranus conjunction. Venus moves into Gemini. Neptune, what does Neptune do? Neptune does something too, I think. Oh, Neptune goes retrograde. So,
Okay.
Neptune, which has been going forward in Aries, is going to stop going forward in Aries and it's going to back up. And then, of course, go back into Pisces, where it only stays in the last degree of Pisces. That's Neptune, sort of the last hurrah of Pisces.
Yeah.
Just like Pluto did, right?
Yes.
When we had the election.
So how long is it going to be in the last degree?
Pluto was in that last degree of Capricorn when we had the election. Go ahead. What? I'm sorry.
I remember when Pluto was when it came to the last degree of Capricorn. How long is Neptune going to be in the last degree of Pisces? I'm sorry. Yeah, of Pisces.
Yeah. I'll tell you. I will tell you right now. Okay.
This is what I don't like about Neptune in Aries right now is all this health stuff, all this measles and everything like that. And then it'll back up and I'm thinking, okay, maybe it'll start to kind of straighten itself out and then it's going to pour forward again. I'm thinking of the medical piece.
So Neptune goes back into Pisces on the 23rd of October and is in Pisces until in that last degree. Till the next year.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't move back until October in the last degree, but just retrogrades now.
It's retrograding now, yeah.
We'll get back into Pisces and then be there until next year. Okay, all right. So, all right.
And then as soon as it gets back into Aries, it meets up with Saturn.
Again.
For good, like new cycle.
Look at what's on the bottom of this deck, the Tower. That is July. Mm-hmm. So the WTF question is WTF the 4th of July?
Or WTF July. I like that.
How about WTF is going on in July? WTF is going on in July. Just say what the fuck. Come on. Right?
It's okay. Everything's going to be fine.
I do these a lot.
So July, somebody commented that June was quite the month. Yes, it was. They're all kind of like that. They've all been like that for now, probably going on 2 years. So, starting with 20, or no longer, I think, I don't know. It just seems like it's just been going on and on and on and on.
it has been going on forever. It started in a parka and it ended up with like my blood congealing from the heat in 28 days.
Well, June was a
I
15-6.
had the heat on.
June was a devil month. This month, July,
Noted.
is a tower month, right? It's 16-7. That's the vibration. And it's really about aligning with your higher self and being who you are meant to be. That's really what it's about. You just be yourself. Look within and say, who am I? And then be that person. Now that sounds rather easy for a rather complex issue, but still, we got to start somewhere, right?
You know what? I think a lot of people, especially the Gen Xers, are really just trying to figure out who and what it even means to be your authentic self. I don't think we have a clue. I think we have a clue.
Who were the Gen Xers
Some of
again?
us are feeling like
Who were the Gen Xers again?
65 through. I have that written down.
Well, that's that was 65 was the Pluto Uranus conjunction, 65 and 66. That was the shift.
Yep.
That was the shift.
Yeah. So that's like the Gen Xers, and we're trying to tell people to be authentic. And I am trying to live an authentic life. But when it comes down to it, I don't even know what that.
So sorry.
Is gonna. It's the parade's tomorrow, and there's a lot of motorcycles on the drive, and somebody's got to ride a Harley. It's the noise pollution.
Ugh, I don't miss that. Although it's not that quiet here. It's not as quiet as I'd like it to be. There's a lot of background noise around here.
65 to 80, says Mary Cap, is the Gen Xer. So 65 to 80 right now. And I feel like, we're trying to kind of figure out what it means to be authentic as we genuinely want people to be authentic. Like we really do. And we're telling you to, and then we're like, what does that really mean for me?
Right. Well, we're a generation. That's part of the Pluto and Virgo generation, Pluto and Libra generation. That's it, Virgo and Libra. And Virgo and Libra are both like, Virgo is helping, making adjustments, being the workhorse. And then Libra is all about diplomacy and talking to each other and all of that. So
I gotta say,
in a way, it's other oriented. So to understand who your authentic self is, you have to come into yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the evolution of it.
When you think about it, they're both very cerebrally oriented. Libra and Mercury.
Yeah.
It's all the head stuff.
Yep.
Right. And then we go to Scorpio, and then we've gotten the normalization of, talking about alcoholism, making it a disease, calling it a disorder, that kind of thing in the next generation when Pluto went into Scorpio.
Well,
so Pluto went interesting.
Scorpio, that was the AIDS. Those are the AIDS.
Yeah. So authenticity. But WTF is going on in July 1st. What you get?
Okay, so I start with the Princess of Pentacles. So this is like the start. Something is being seeded at this time, right? Just like you're just starting to plant the seeds. It's a practical thing. You're doing something practical. And it's crossed by the Three of Cups, which is community, getting together with friends, right? So this seems like there's some resistance that people may have to travel, to be with friends because of money issues or fears around money. But I think that that's probably the wrong way to look at it. I think being with your friends is going to bring in more abundance for you. Those are the first two cards. Underneath it all is the Ace of Wands, new beginning. This is the Ace of Fire. It's creative. So there's a lot of creativity here. I really feel like and I know I've brought it up already, and this isn't really what this reading is about, but I really feel like the Mandani winning was
Mm-hmm.
was very it was like a light amongst a lot of darkness, right? And so there's this sense of, I think we're not as connected to the other um, generations to really know where they're at. Now you have a stronger connection to that because of your child and because of these people that you're working with now at the place. They're of that generation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to like connect with our generations. That's why I think it's important that's going to be an important time because it's going to actually seed something. In the past, we have the Eight of Swords, which is really what the past is. Just felt like destruction,
Are you
right?
doing a whole Celtic cross?
I'm going to do a whole Celtic cross, yeah,
Okay.
just because of the way it came up, and then you can do yours, and then we maybe can compare. So in the past, it's destruction, right? We feel like so many things have been destroyed, so much unnecessary pain here, right? Feeling restricted, feeling like you can't say what you really feel, afraid to speak. In the sky, which is interesting, we have the Eight of Cups, which is about somebody walking away from something they put a lot of effort into. And so I don't know if somebody of import is going to just turn around and walk away from what they're doing.
Yeah.
So we might want to look for that. That could be a political figure. It could be somebody as simple as Hexeth, I don't know. I'm not saying it's him. I'm just saying we'll see somebody leaving. And then in the future, the immediate future, I get the Fool. And that's as far as I went.
Okay.
So this is going off the proverbial cliff, but not to your destruction,
Mm-hmm.
but to another level of consciousness.
Mine is not sugar coated like that at all. And I keep pulling cards to see if I get a good one. So I know you don't like to be conspiratorial, and this is something that if this happened, I would grab another deck and I would put more intention in it maybe and see what's going on. So it's like WTF in July. I got the first card I got was Death card,
Change, yeah.
and then the world to challenge it. I could have stopped right there. In the past, Five of Coins, so it could be money, crypto. I have the idea that maybe you should be stashing some beans, okay? Because on the bottom is the Four of Swords. I'm telling you, this doesn't get like a second. At the top is the Page of Coins above us, so
That was the same one I had, the Page of Coins.
at the top of the spread. Immediate future is the King of Swords. Maybe he's going to pass. Maybe it'll pass, and it'll cause kind of one of those things.
So you think the King of Swords might be 47?
Yeah, because look at him. Look at how goofy he looks. Yeah, look at his hair. He's got the hair. Yeah. So I don't want to start anything. If people pull cards, go ahead and do the whole spread. But those are the ones that were on top. And I'm like trying to find more that are decent. I get Five of Cups, Two of Swords. So
Well,
we're
certainly going to be doing something completely new.
Yeah. And remember, Uranus, Fool card, is moving into Gemini. So there might be some disruption in the security, cyber stuff.
That happens on the 7/7 portal.
on the 7-7 portal. Hello. 7
That's
7.
actually a King of Wands day. 23-5.
Yeah, 23-5.
Yeah.
So, I would do that again in a different space because it just seems like there's some negativity in that spread. And the last card would have been the 5 of Wands. I mean, we're going to need help from an outside source. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I think I don't ever want to scare people. My God, when I say, trying to be your authentic self, that means like be your authentic self, not who your feed dictates you to be. And not, say like, well, so and so's guides were saying, listen to your own guides.
One of the things about being your authentic self is if you don't know who that is, you're going to find out.
Yeah.
You're actually going to find out from the experience because that's why we have the experience, so we know ourselves better.
South Node in Virgo.
I mean, certainly Trump, whose soul is 16-7, has gone around and showed everybody who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know who the bigots are. Now we know who the cruel people are. Now we know who are the heartless people, or the people who care, or the people who stand up for what's right. We know who all the people are because that's what he's done. He's
Somebody
made us.
said here, July Torp 42, July 17th is another protest day. Will something very big happen that day? There were people commenting on some very specific dates.
Well, July 4th is one of them, right? That's the next No Kings rally.
I will be closer to my own neighbor. There's got to be something going on here.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I know there is.
Yeah. Again, you don't have to, you can do the rally if you want, but you should be with people. That's the one thing I know. On 4th of July, you should be with people. And whatever that means, in whatever way you can be.
I always have backup. People know where I am, not just the YouTube channel, like if I'm doing something like that, but every, person in my circle knows exactly where I am.
All right. So do we want to do 2 dates or 1 date?
Let's do the 17th. The 17th by... Hold on, sweetie.
Let me see what's going on there. See if there's anything specific.
Here we go. Show this.
I have to get my July stuff together. I haven't done it yet.
July 17th is another protest day. Will it all go well?
I'm just going to look at the stars that day, and then I'll pull. I'm all ready to pull.
Oh, July 17th is to honor John Lewis.
Oh.
Good trouble. Got it. So it has some potential to is already feels charged.
The moon goes void of course. Oh, the moon's in Aries, and it goes void of course at 8:38 p.m. And it's in the 4th quarter, and the next day Mercury goes retrograde.
Surprisingly unalarming.
How many did you pick?
I got just 4. I got Ace of Pentacles for the first card. So I guess the event, I would say. I think there's going to be a lot of rain. Looks like somebody's stuck in the house. I know it's the 4 of Wands, but they're looking out to the water. So I'm going to say there'll be some rain delay and stuff like that. And then some disappointment. But it might be because of the turnout or just, I don't know. And the final card is the 9 of Pentacles. This is what we're fighting for. We're fighting for our freedom. Our what we own, protecting what we own. Pentacles could be the only thing you own.
So I got the Emperor.
Okay.
Emperor. And then I got the Nine of Pentacles. So the Emperor is, the person in charge.
Yep.
The Nine of Pentacles is generally an energy of people who have money, protecting their money,
Yeah.
and like it's not super rich, but it's kind of a well-heeled energy. I get the Nine of Swords, so anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety. It looks like there's a lot of anxiety around the people who do have money, actually. And then there's the Five of Cups, which kind of looks like in this deck, somebody who's upset about a loss. And the person does look Hispanic. So I'm thinking that this might be what's happening to families all over the country, the pain that that's causing.
I got the Four of Cups, but the more I look at it, it's Hegseth.
Oh my God, yes.
Look at him.
Having a drink.
I'm drinking a smoke. It's a Hegseth picture. So he's gonna have some kind of something to do with that protest, with that No Kings.
Or something may happen around him right around that time. Or maybe they'll call the Marines in. I don't know what they're going to do, but and then I got this
blame for it.
The Seven of Pentacles, which is in this deck is sort of about going to the market and meeting the people in the market and talking on the market square. So what I feel like is happening is that this fourth of that this 17th is people getting together who all have different like beefs with the Trump administration, and it's like but it's not everybody's there for the same reason, but everybody's there, and I think that's a really good energy for July. It's much more optimistic than I thought it would be.
I am hoping that it is everything that you turn out to be, and I don't want it to sound like, that some kind of world leader. I don't want to go in that direction.
Well, it could be that too. I mean, who knows? It's all valid. What we're seeing is there's going to be a big change, and we know there's going to be a big change because it's a 16-7.
I know.
Month.
I just don't want to be an alarmist. You know what I mean? It's just about being an alarmist, because then we start to just keep rolling in that.
Well, I don't know I don't think we're being alarmist.
Well, the cards were like all bad. They were all bad. So there might be something that's local that is noteworthy for that. I know we're having 2 days of fireworks.
But that's not the 17th. Weren't we doing it for the 17th? Or were we doing
it was for the 17th. Yeah, you're right. I'm just thinking about what we're, big.
You got the 4th of July on your mind. That's why.
Well, I'm thinking about maybe it's so local that it's local. For the all July that, but yeah, for the 17th, it looks like the big story will be around Hegseth.
And a lot of people are going to get to meet a lot of people. I didn't see anything real. I mean, I didn't really see anything bad in my class.
I mean, I can get like really salacious here, but yeah, it looks like he, he's been paid off, or he's.
I don't think you have to worry about time. I don't think you have to worry about being salacious around him, because he's salacious.
Well, this might be a sex scandal if we're going to go in the Hegseth direction, right? He's paying off like his friend's mom or whatever he did to her or whatever. Like we could really go in that direction, and I could pull more cards. The story would build. But I would say that just the big story would probably be around him for that protest day. And the other cards for the 4th of July could be local, like there
Well,
might be local.
it's very possible that Trump is telling Hexeth that he doesn't want these protests. I mean, why would he want the protests?
You think there's a lockout? 4 of Wands, like a stay home kind of energy? I'm sorry, this is the 3 of Wands. It's not the 4 of Wands. It is the 3.
So a 3 of Wands is an opportunity.
You have a choice.
That's the thing. I think that's the point. The point is that you can choose to go down the rabbit hole and doom scroll, or you can choose to live your life and live your life to what's when we talk about authentic self. It's like, what's in your heart? How do you want to spend your time? Right? Instead of the shoulda, the coulda, and the woulda, just be. It's where we have our most power anyway. And what else can we do but be ourselves and live our lives? Am I right or am I right?
Oh, I 100% agree. That's why I don't want to go down the path of being a source to like get an alarm, be alarmed about anything. I think the 4th of July in any time of year has been, or
Yeah, something's going to get blown up, right? Somebody's going to lose a finger.
Always.
Somebody's going to throw up on somebody's shoe.
Right.
It's going to be fisticuffs.
The Hexeth thing. He's amassing some story that may make you want to stay home. But we know that because we're smarter than that. A lot of psychological psyops here where, we did things that we didn't do. I'm so tired of it.
I'm not paying attention to it because it's all lies anyway. I mean, it really happened.
Yeah.
I mean, something happened, right? But even the whole idea of all these wars, they're all based on lies.
I know.
It's all based on lies. I'm sorry. I don't care.
And we got it, but that's just to keep a heightened sense of anxiety on the right plateau, just to feed you more of this stuff. So yes, live your genuine life and go to a No Kings, you know what's safe and what isn't, and to go with people. But I think there's going to be a story around it that involves him scaring you. And probably
I think he scares quite a few people, but maybe for a different reason.
Yeah.
Because he's completely incompetent. I mean, honestly, we could get attacked, and what the F are we going to do about it? Are you going to trust Kash Patel and Hexeth?
100%. 100% on board. I don't know.
I mean, these guys, I guess at least Rubio has some experience.
This is very wise right here. 'Tis wise to be vigilant. Zero need to carry fear with you. I try not to. I with an Aries moon, which I always make an excuse for, I hear, definitely had that carrying fear around energy and was driven by it. Yeah. And then when I got sick, I'm like, it's not so bad when the other side, like, death is pretty cool. Like, I know that I have my son in the 8th house, so I've been always obsessed with the concept of death and the occult and stuff. It's not scary. It's just like a transfer of energy, So I live every day like I might not be here tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a book years ago called A Year to Live. And his suggestion was that you live your life like you only have a year to live.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's, I've gotten down to the point where I say I only have this moment to live, so I'm going to make the best of this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm lucky enough to have a lifestyle that I can do that. But that's after years of taking care of people. I took care of people for a career. I took care of my mother for 17 years. I've always been taking care. And now
Right.
I finally get to just, do what I like, have fun, enjoy myself, share what I know.
Eco Solar said, I envy you all who are not terrified. I I can't let terror like
Yeah,
run my day.
can't let it in.
Right.
Let it in. It's and you have to move through fear, I guess. And everybody has a level.
Yeah.
And I know what that moving through fear feels like
Yeah.
because I've had to do it and you've had to do it. I mean, you survived almost the unsurvivable, honestly.
I crossed the street to get to. That's terrifying for me. Is That's what's terrifying. The other stuff, no, but like just think of it on just like such a local level. Like, how are you? I think Heather Cox Richardson said something. She did an interview in the Bulwark. I'm I'm not in jail right now. I'm not like I still am required to live my best life.
That's right.
I'm required to. And if I let all that terrify me, I will not be able to cross the street.
I mean, if you stay within the energy of that, you're creating that. You create what you pay attention to. That's
Yeah.
why it's okay to know what's going on, but you can't let what's going on affect you. You
Yeah.
have to find it within you, whatever that is. And the easiest thing for me is always do what you love because you love it. So why not do it? Do what you love, whatever that is. I mean, unless it's doom scrolling.
And I also take art classes to help with some of those anxiety related issues or synesthetic issues. If I can divert some of the neuropathic pain, that's what I do. And you can do an exercise, EcoSoul Art, where you scribble terror like on a piece of paper and draw it out, draw it away from you, give it to the universe. If you feel like you need something tangible to do to scrape off some of this terror, write it and drag it off the page.
Here's something somebody talked about. Mary said, "I watched the funeral of Melissa and Mark Hortman this morning. Just so heartbreaking." Yeah, yeah. But how beautiful that all those people
Yeah.
came and they laid in state. She was the first woman, and the dog was the first dog to be laid in state. So they
That's
had.
why I wanted to do. I saw a picture. I think Biden was kind of leaning in. I saw a picture and kind of walked by and just instinctually went like this for no. I don't know why. Just went like that. Like, that's an honor to die. Like, this is dying for your country, real time, real people that
Well,
died
I,
for the
I
country.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd say she died for a country, but what I would say is this memorial service was a reflection of all the good that they've
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
All the good because people came from all over the place and like around the corner and just to honor them for their lives. And instead of it being about their death, it was really about their lives.
Mary Huddleston says it was Gilbert's remains. His urn was there. So the dog's name was Gilbert. That's like one letter off. Who I've been secretly feeding under the table this entire time, one at a time, because he can't finish this much this fast.
Yeah. Well, so it seems like you've figured it out. The giblets enigma wrapped up in the kibble mystery.
The night I took him to work with me when I was the nursing supervisor, and it was New Year's Eve, and I made some bullshit up about the fireworks, and I couldn't get anybody to watch them. And the chief nursing officer said, yeah, you could bring him to work. He didn't sleep the whole night. The whole night. I closed my office door. He starts barking. Bah, bah, bah. I had to take him out of rounds with me. Holy cow. So when he sees that there's an opportunity, he's not going to let it go.
Are we talking about giblets?
Yes.
Well, he's a bit of an opportunist.
Yeah.
But if you're not, you never get an opportunity. So you might as well. There's another lesson from giblets.
Yeah. I'm just going to put him on my lap because I could take him for another little walk if I have to. Tomorrow he won't be able to go out. Early in the morning maybe, but that'll be it. Yeah, Giblets was a therapy dog that night. All the people at work got to pet him and they were all smiling, and it was New Year's Eve. So I think it helped a lot. He's no cannoli though.
Well, you did have your favorites. You liked Cannoli because she was, I think, a little bit more like you. She was kind of sassy and didn't take any shit.
We used to call her the supervisor because she would walk from room to room and watch what you were doing. Vacuuming, cleaning, dusting, anything, cleaning the litter box. She would always make sure you were not breaking stride.
Oh my goodness.
I had to lock him in the bathroom to vacuum. He goes crazy.
I don't blame him. When I was a kid, I used to hide when my mother vacuumed too. It scared the shit.
I know you said that because it was like a scary face coming at you.
Yeah, it was an old Kirby. It had a big eye, had like a snout. It was, and then the bag, you turn it on to make this awful sound, and then the bag would expand like it was breathing. It was like a fire-breathing dragon. I wish I had that Kirby. It's probably worth money now.
I remember those vacuum cleaners. I remember those with the big bag. Yeah. Sandra says he's trained me. Yeah, he has. I know. I take full responsibility for having a bad dog. I own it. I'm in on it. I know. Yeah.
Well, I had a vigilant dog.
Yeah.
My dog was vigilant, and the other one was just a cream puff.
I know. They're like that. They're so different.
They're like kids, right? All your kids are different.
My kid told me that. He's like, you treat both of us the same. I said, yeah. Or it was like like the cat and the two dogs. He's like, everybody's got like the place at the table sort of thing. I said, yeah, but you're my favorite, Oh my gosh. This is going to be a really interesting week. It's almost 7:00. It's a Saturday night. So I don't know.
Time has really flown.
It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night. And I don't know.
Maybe before we go, we'll just take a little glance at the astrology for the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I like this Leo moon. My carnelian earrings on the Leo moon.
Oh,
single time.
Yes.
And I don't look ahead like you look ahead. Like you are the astrologer. Like you look ahead and you see and you can, project and see the pattern and stuff. I'm like, okay, the moon. Now I know the moon is void of course is a volatile, gassy smell. Okay. That's all. Like to think about the following week and what's coming. It's so like I can't even read a chart without seeing a transit happening at the same time.
So we've had a couple of Mercury things happen. We had Mercury trine Saturn and then Mercury trine Neptune today. And tomorrow Mercury opposes Pluto.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it actually happens here on the East Coast at 3:57 a.m. So for you, it's actually 2:57 a.m.
and Mercury's in Leo right now.
Um, yeah, because Pluto is in Aquarius, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a point of awareness. Your soul is speaking to you, or the world soul is speaking. And so we have to listen to see what the world soul wants to say to us. Um, and Leo is, um, and Leo is going to go retrograde. I mean, Mercury's going to go retrograde in Leo. So Mercury's in Leo for a long time, for
Yeah.
like six weeks. The whole retrograde is in Leo. So wherever Leo is
We're
in your
looking
chart.
at a Pluto Mercury opposition 3 times.
No, there's only no. I don't. Oh, well, that's a good question. I don't
Is
think
it going to go like that?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. Let me look. You might be right. I'm just looking to see if there's another one.
I'll pay attention at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I don't see another one, so I don't think so. Oh, but so that's happening. And let's see, in July the 4th is the biggest day.
Yeah.
The moon moves into Scorpio on the 4th of July. So that's intense.
Judgment Day.
It's a judgment day, right? Yeah, the United States goes into its judgment year.
Yep.
It's awakening of the soul year. So we're waking up in the United States this year. Um, we have the conjunction between Mercury and Uranus occurring at the last degree of Taurus. Then we have Venus moving into Gemini, and then Neptune going retrograde in Aries. Then on Sunday, we're only going to do that week. Okay, we'll only do that week.
The 4th of July has a lot of changes.
Right. And then
It's
there's
a
Uranus.
Scorpio moon, and it's Venus enters Gemini, and then Mercury starts its retrograde backwards while it's in Aries right now, going
No,
into the
Leo.
last degree of Pisces and then coming back. So
Oh, yeah, Saturn and Neptune are doing that.
on
Yeah,
the 4th.
so use your instincts. If you have an opportunity to go and be with people that you like, definitely take the opportunity to go. If you're at a No Kings rally, be aware of your environment and fill yourself up with light. Fill yourself
Yeah.
up with light and go with the expectation that it's going to be good, but be cautious. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be given updates as the week goes by because nobody wants anything catastrophic to occur. We're not looking for it. And your intuition more than anybody, right? Listen to your guides, listen to yourself.
Trust your gut.
Yeah. And we'll see you in the morning.
All right, guys. Take care, everyone. We love you. See you next week.
Thank you.